This is the inside of the Swift Challenger 560. If I firstly move to the main control panel, I can turn the 12 volt on just by pressing here. Once we've done this, we can turn the awning light on and off just here. We can turn the dimmable lighting on and off just here. These can be all individually turned on and off on their own switches as well. And we can then turn the rest of the lights on and off just here. Beneath that, we then have the water pump on and off. We need the water pump on so we can get water out of the taps and fill the boiler if it's been drained down. All other information is then given via scrolling on the arrows just here. So if we go back to the beginning, you'll see that this is a Sargent EC620 control panel. And then if we begin to scroll, you'll see that we firstly have system settings. So if I now arrow into that, you'll then see that we can alter the time if required. We can delete any Bluetooth users that have been installed onto here, and then we can obviously pair Bluetooth users up. If you are going to use this, you do need to download the Swift Command app. Once you've downloaded it, you will then be able to pair up to this control panel and then control heating, hot water, lights, etc. all via the app instead of the control panel itself. Tank alarms on and off. I've turned these off as this does not have any internal water tanks. How quickly before these blue LEDs disappear when the screen is not being used, and then the same with the backlight. Key beeps on and off, and then set obviously the date, etc. just there, and then just exit back out again. We then have heater settings, so if you want to control the Aldi heating system via the app, just arrow in and then just arrow in again and then put it onto app. If you want to just control it manually via the control panel just there, just leave it set in the manual mode. We then have dimmer level for the lighting, so again just arrow in and then you can dim it or brighten it back up again. Internal temperature, AC limit on and off. So at the moment you'll see that we're using currently 1.2 amps. If you know how many amps the site is that you're on, you can then go into this and then select it on here. So let's say we're on a 10 amp site. Now if we plug anything in and it's going to exceed 10 amps, it just will not work until you turn something else off. And as you can see, it will go right the way up to 16 amps. Select the battery. We're in a caravan, not in a motorhome, so we can't do this. Solar, so this is just letting us know what the solar panel is currently up to. As you can see, it's doing nothing at the moment because the battery is undercharged from the mains and is fully charged. Obviously we don't have a vehicle battery, and you can see the condition of the leisure battery and that it's currently being charged, and then we end up back at the beginning again. If we now move across to the Aldi control panel for the heating and hot water, we turn it on just here. And on initial startup, it will let you know if you've got mains electricity connected, and it will give you an internal temperature of the caravan. If I now press menu, it will bring up its basic functions. As you see, the first one at the top here is just the thermostat for the heating. So literally just plus and minus, pick whatever temperature you would like it to be inside the caravan, and it will drop all the way down to 5 degrees for frost protection and then go all the way up to 30 degrees. After that, we have a little picture of a shower head, and this is for the hot water. So currently hot water is off. If I now press plus, hot water on. And if I press it again, we can also put the hot water into boost mode. The boost mode is very handy if there's going to be more than one of you having showers in quick succession of each other, or if you just want hot water very quickly. If you do perform this and the heating is running, it will turn the heating off as it needs to use the extra power. So even though I've now turned the heating on to 23 degrees and I've turned the hot water on, the system hasn't actually fired up yet because we haven't given it a power source. So if we're hooked up to mains electricity, to run it onto mains, just literally press the plus and we can run it on 1 kilowatts, 2 kilowatts or 3 kilowatts. So just dependent on the ampage of the site that you're on. And then if we don't have main supply, we can highlight the little picture of the flame and run the system on gas. We can also, if we have both power sources available to us, run it in dual fuel mode. Very handy, especially in the winter months. This will get you up to temperature really quickly and it will only consume gas as it's required. If I now press the little picture of the cog, this is the settings menu. So firstly in here we have a little picture of a moon, and this is night mode. So we can turn night mode on and off just up here. We can then set the temperature we would like it to be during the night, literally just plus and minus. We can then set the time when we would like night mode to begin, and whether it's for all days of the week or just individual, and then when we would like night mode to end. We can invert the backlight just here, so during this period this screen will go to black and the writing will go to white. And we can also, if we highlight this one, tell the boiler that we do not want any hot water produced throughout that period. Very handy if you are wild camping, so you're not heating hot water whilst you're asleep. Next we have a picture of a sun, and we have virtually the same again, but just for the daytime. Prioritise is what the system prioritises in using when in that dual fuel mode. So as you can see, there's a little picture of a lightning strike just there. So it favours main supply over gas. If you were on a very low amp site, you can flip it on its head, so it uses more gas and less electricity. Next we just have here the brightness of the screen. This one is not used on this particular model. And then this one here is just to set the correct time and day of the week. If I now arrow down, we then have this one just here, which is called antimicrobial. You can only use this if you are using night mode as well. And then what will happen is, in the middle of the night, the boiler will come on, rapidly heat itself up to kill off any bacteria that may be in the system. Next we have temperature offset. So if you don't think the internal thermostat is quite correct, you can just offset it. High altitude mode just here. So if you are using the caravan 1,000 meters and above sea level, just pop this on to make it run efficiently. Key beeps on and off just here. And then you can just have one delayed start and stop to the system. So you could have it so it comes on say Monday at 9 o'clock in the morning and then turns itself off again on Saturday at say 12 in the afternoon. Pump settings just here, just leave it set to thermal. This is for the heating system. Full factory reset, so if there is a problem with the system you can just reset it. External start, you don't need to worry about that because this can be controlled via the Swift Command app. Language, service, more for the workshop, but it will let you know what everything is up to. Installed accessories, there isn't really anything in here of any requirement. and then if I press menu, we then just go back to the beginning again. If I now turn it off, the system is now shut down, but when I turn it back on again, you will see that it will always remember the last settings it was left on. If I now come down to the bench seat just here and remove the cushions, you will see that we have the location of the Aldi boiler itself just here. And if I now just lift up here, you will see the drain valve for the boiler. So to drain the boiler down for either travel or winterization, firstly make sure that the water pump is turned off, and then come to this valve just here, flap it up like so, and it will then drop all the water out of the boiler underneath the caravan at this point here. If you are fully winterizing the caravan, I always suggest that you then go round and open up all the taps in the caravan as well, because this will help release any airlocks in the system and make it drain down more efficiently. When it comes to refilling the boiler back up again, flap back over, fill up the aqua roll, drop in the submersible, make sure the taps in the caravan is closed, turn on the 12 volt, and then turn on the water pump, and then it will begin to reprime the boiler. Let the pump run for a few minutes and then begin opening the taps up. They'll cough and splutter as they force the air out. Once they're running freely on both hot and cold, reclose, and then the system will fully reprime itself. The water pump is just located here, and beside it we just have the surge dampener. Consumer unit just here. So we have the trip switches just here. So we have the 3 individual MCBs, the main RCD and test button just here, and they are labelled and correspond on the sticker just here. So if anything's not working on main supply, just check to see if it's tripped at this point here. 12 volt fuses just here, again they're numbered up and correspond on the sticker again just here. If anything's not working on 12 volt, just check to see if you've blown a fuse. If one of these fuses has blown, a red light will appear underneath it to let you know. Isolator switches just here for components that use mains electricity. So we have the amber one for the Aldi heating and hot water system. So if I turn this off and I'm trying to run the system on mains electricity, it will not work. And then we have the green one just here, which is for the battery charger just here. And again, if I then turn this one off, we will not be able to charge the leisure battery via the main supply. So quite frankly, these can just be left alone. They're more for maintenance than anything else. This will illuminate to indicate that you are connected to reverse polarity. This can sometimes be found on some continental sites. And then we have full system shutdown just here. So if you're planning on not using the caravan for a long period of time, just press this black button and it will shut down the back end of the caravan to prevent any residual draw on the leisure battery. Control board for the Power Touch motor mover just here. And then just tucked down there is the main 20 amp fuse off the leisure battery. If I now just move across to the other bench seat, we have storage beneath, and we also have the location of the sergeant alarm just there. We also have the PIR sensor for the alarm just there. And then if I just remove the cushions just there, you'll see we have some more 12 volt fuses just here. Again, they are all labelled up, and the majority of them are for components on the outside of the caravan. In the overhead locker just here, you'll find the radio. So radio turns on and off on the source button just here. This will also select you between FM, AM, auxiliary, or if you plug in anything USB. To change tracks or search for radio stations, just here.
Okay, we go.
And then we have volume control just here, CD in just here, and eject just here. If you need to get into its setup, just hold the button down that says display and then navigate on the volume button and then just click to get into anything. And then back off again on the source button. TV points just here. So this one is linked up to the external TV or satellite point in the battery box, and then the one underneath that just there is linked to the TV aerial on the roof. We then have 12 volt and a main socket just there. The television aerial is just located here. So at the back there is the digital amplifier for the aerial, on and off just here, and then control the boost just here. To raise the aerial, loosen the collar and then push up and then twist it and get it into the position you require. This green window here represents the back of the aerial, so you know which way it's pointing. Once in the position you require, retighten. The H stands for horizontal, so the aerial is currently sitting flat like this. What we can do is flip it into a vertical position for additional tuning if required, just by turning the tail just here. Do make sure for travel that it's back in the horizontal position and that the aerial is down. Solar panel regulator just there. Don't need to do anything with it. As you can see, we've got a solid green light on at the moment, letting us know that the leisure battery is in a good state of health, and we have a green flashing light indicating that UV light is hitting the panel. Microwave just here. Always advisable to remove contents for travel. It is plugged in just here, so this will work when the caravan is connected to mains electricity. We have literally quick start just here and stop, and then we have all the auto menu, defrost, etc. just here. With the hob, we've got the electric hot plate, so this will work again when the caravan is hooked up to main supply, and it operates just here. We then have the gas rings, and to light these, just push in, twist round and push the igniter. Beneath that is the grill, and again just push in, twist and press the igniter. And then beneath that is the oven. Beneath the oven you will find storage, You'll also find a plug plugged in, which is just for the electric hot plate. And then just here you will find some of the gas isolation points for the appliances. They are colour coded and correspond on the sticker just here. They are all in the on position, and quite frankly they can stay like that. I always say these are more for maintenance. If you do smell gas in the caravan, go to the source and turn the gas bottle off. Dometic fridge just here, on and off just here. And then firstly we have a 2-pin plug. So this is the fridge running on mains electricity. If you do not have mains connected, you can run the fridge on gas just by pressing the flame. The fridge will auto ignite itself. If it fails to light, it will begin to beep at you, and the warning indicator here will begin to flash. If you think it's just down to a bit of air in the system, just repress this button here and it will then attempt to light itself again. And then lastly we have 12-volt maintain. This is what we have it on to keep the fridge cold whilst the caravan is being towed. So if I select this at the moment, it will beep at us because we're currently not hooked up to a tow vehicle. It will also beep at us if we're trying to run it on main supply and we do not have main supply connected. Temperature control just here. And then just push down to open the fridge door. Freezer compartment just here. This can be removed. As we move through to the centre of the caravan, we have the shower cubicle just here. Always make sure that the shower screen is secure for travel. Toilet just here. So the bowl does swivel to open to the cassette. Just slide the grey lever across and then push to flush on the top just here, and then close back up again. If this has been left open and you try to remove the cassette from the outside, it will not come out. So if you do feel resistance, just make sure that nobody's left it open. Level indicator just here, so it will illuminate to let you know when the cassette needs emptying. As we move to the rear, we have the fixed double bed. We can lift it up. We have plenty of storage beneath here. We also have the spare wheel underneath here. Again, more TV points just here. And then in the wardrobe here is the header tank for the Aldi heating system. All we need to do is just make sure that the fluid level is between the minimum and the maximum. Always take your reading once the heating is up to temperature, as it will expand in the tank. If it does need topping up, you can do this yourself if you wish. Just unscrew the cap and then add the Aldi top-up solution. Always make sure that you are using the correct solution though.